loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're at the start of another weekly reading vlog, and this week I'm pretty busy. I've got a lot I need to do. We've got work is busy. We're literally on the week before Christmas, but this video comes out just after Christmas, so I hope you all had an amazing Christmas. This weekly reading vlog, I'm really wanting to get back into my reread of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I had to put this down for just over a week just so I could focus in on my Christmas mystery reading week that came out last week, and then I had the readathon, which again I'll have both of those videos linked below for you. I just need to get back into this, is what I'm saying. So this is what I'm going to be focusing on for the next couple of days. Today is actually a busy day, so I don't think I'm going to get much of this read. I need to edit the Relax and Readathon, so I filmed it yesterday, just wrapped it up, need to get that whole video edited today. I also want to go and get my nails done, so we'll see how much I actually get to read today, but regardless, I'd really like to get back into my reread of this. So I did leave it off in the middle of a chapter. I am in the middle of chapter 13 at page 132, and I just really want to get back to this. I'm going to start off with this one. At this point, we still haven't met Jonathan Strange in the book. I actually forgot how long it takes for Jonathan Strange to come onto the scene. So the first character we meet isn't either of our two magicians, actually. It's about these two gentlemen that are part of the Yorkshire magicians. They are theoretical magicians, and they are discussing why magic's kind of disappearing from England. And then they come across Mr. Norrell, who is a practicing magician, and he shows them a piece of magic and goes, well, as I've proven I can perform magic, you all need to stop performing magic. And he wants to try and bring back magic, believing that he is the only magician and he wants it that way. He wants to be in control of what actually is allowed for people, and he doesn't agree with a lot of the teachings to do with magic, and he's just a very cantankerous old man. Really, that's kind of where we're at. He's had to try and convince the governors to allow him to help in the war against France, because this is taken place during the Napoleonic Wars, and he's trying to convince them, look, I can help you in this war. They're very much like, no, we don't do that. We are Englishmen. We don't practice magic. Eventually he convinces them, but we're still not at that point of Jonathan Strange, and it's when Jonathan Strange comes on the scene that it really starts showing the tension between Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, where they kind of have very opposing views on how magic should be approached. Jonathan Strange is very much like, we should share it out amongst people and anyone should be able to learn this, and Mr. Norrell was like, excuse me, no, that's not the way this works. So yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting Jonathan Strange again. I honestly thought it happened a little bit earlier, but I've literally just flicked and it came onto volume 2 Jonathan Strange, so I'm guessing it's going to happen around then. But yeah, it's a little bit slow, it's a little bit dry. I can really understand why not everybody gets on with this book, but it is my favorite book, and I really do enjoy it. Even though it is very, very dense, I still really love it. So yeah, I really want to continue my reread of this. I'm hoping tomorrow I should get a good chunk of this read, because I have a busy day, but it's a lot of like just sitting around waiting for things, so I should be able to get a good chunk of this read. That is the plan. And then towards the end of the week, when I go back to work and I have the morning to be able to read a little bit, I plan on picking up First Frost. Oh, I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be really fun and cute. This is the second book that started off with Garden Spells. This is by Sarah Addison Allen, and I loved Garden Spells. It ended up being a new favourite book. It's just a magical realism slice of life story. We're following the Waverley sisters and yeah, just seeing their lives really. I really loved that first book. There was just something about it that really captured me. So I'm hoping that same magic happens in here, and this one is all in the first snows of this place. It's the first frost of the season. So yeah, I'm really hoping that this works, that I really enjoy it. I don't know, I've not heard anyone really talking about it, so yeah, I'm intrigued just to see what I think about this one, and hopefully I like it. So that is the plan. I would just like to make some more progress in Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell and read First Frost. We'll see how much progress I actually make in this one, but I would definitely be reading this one, which I'm really looking forward to. I think it's going to be lovely, and it's not too long either, so I don't think it's going to take me too much time to read. I forget there's recipes in this. Roasted red pepper soup. Oh, maybe we'll try making that this week because I do enjoy a good soup. Okay, so it's only 291 pages, so I don't think it's going to take me too long to read at all. And yeah, maybe we'll try that roasted red pepper soup. I think that'll be really nice. But yes, okay, I've got lots I need to get on with. First things first though, I'm going to have some breakfast. We're going to do a little bit of editing and then we'll just see where the day goes. I also need to film my January TBR, so I want to get that done today. So you know, there's quite a bit I need to do. It's the run up to Christmas. I'm always busy. The end of year for YouTube content is always so busy, and I did not pre-plan and pre-film things like I normally would, so I've left it all last minute, so I've got lots and lots to do, but we can get it done. Regardless though, I do hope you did all have a wonderful Christmas. You'll have to let me know how it went, but right now I'm very hungry, so I'm gonna go do some food and I'll catch up with you when I've actually read something. A few days. I had actually planned to update earlier than this. I mean, I know for you don't actually know and it doesn't make a difference, but yeah, it's been a few days. I actually got ill. It started off with just a little bit of a sore throat and I was like, oh, this is okay, it's not too bad, but I didn't feel like filming because, you know, sore throat, trying to talk, not fun. And then that night it got really bad and I felt like, oh, maybe I can't go into work. Like, it felt like flu, my whole body was achy, my head was pounding, and I was like, oh, this sucks. Thankfully, I eventually managed to get some sleep and then I was feeling a lot better as I was able to go to work, but I was still really run down. I was still like not feeling great at all. And thankfully today I feel a lot better, but you can probably hear it in my voice. But I do feel a lot better now, which is good. I haven't updated much and I haven't actually read loads. Like, it's been a few days and I've barely read, so I don't know. Well, I think I'll be able to finish First Frost because this is what I'm going to try and prioritize for the next couple of days. I'm up to chapter 4, page 71, and I am really liking this. Like, this is really nice. This is kind of what I'm in the mood for as well. It's given me the similar vibes to garden spells. I think I prefer garden spells and that story of sisterhood that was focused on, but in this one we're following Bay, who is Sydney's daughter. We meet her in the first book, but this has taken place 10 years later. Bay has this affinity for knowing exactly where everything is meant to be, like not just inanimate objects but also people and things as well. And so we're just seeing her being a teenager and how her mum wants a slightly different life for her, but Bay's really happy being this slightly reclusive and kind of seen as like an eccentric person because she's happy in who she is, in being that little bit strange and weird. But we are seeing like the changes in the Waverley dynamic, which I won't get into too much in case anybody does want to continue and read this series. I really like it, although I am surprised because First Frost isn't happening around like Christmas, New Year's like I thought it was. Instead, it's happening on the run up to Halloween, which is really surprising, but it's just in this place the First Frost happens a lot earlier than what I associate it with. And the reason why it's so important to the Waverleys is because the First Frost is what reawakens their magical apple tree. On the run up to this, lots of things seem to always go wrong, things seem out of sorts, and that's kind of what we're seeing, is these different things that are affecting the Waverleys in different ways and how it is running them into the ground. But it's mainly focusing on Sydney, Claire and Bay and how they're out of sync and how it's affecting their life, whereas Claire's daughter Meredith is seeming pretty normal. She doesn't seem to have a Waverley gift, which again, Claire's a little bit like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, she loves her daughter, don't get me wrong. Both these parents love their daughters, but they do sometimes comment on how it's almost like Bay should have been Claire's daughter and Meredith should have been Sydney's daughter from what they want for their girls, but at the same time they love them for who they are. There's just lots of talk about different things, and you can see where this is going. You can see how Claire's kind of running herself into the ground with this business thing that's going on. You've got Sydney, who has these wants and desperations that are just not coming to fruition, and you can see how it's really starting to affect her and make her a bit unhappy with it all. And then you have Bay with her first love interest, and you know, being 15 at that age, and also because she has this extra ability of knowing, no, I actually do belong with him, he belongs with me, he's not happy where he is, but she's realizing you can't just tell people that. That's not the way the world works. And also we're going to have this extra thing, like there's this extra like shady character that's going to throw a spanner into the works. So I think basically what's going to happen, we're going to have this big old drama on the run up to Halloween, and then hopefully once that first frost hit, everything settles back into place, which I really like the idea of. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. 220 pages, so I'm going to work out how many pages a day I need to read, because I do really want to finish this week. I'm really enjoying it. It just means that my other read, Jonathan Strange Mr. Norrell, gets put on the back burner again, but again, that's fine. It's a reread. I'm happy to take my time with it. Talk about that one more in just a minute. But yeah, so really look forward to this. I did make a soup the only day I was feeling well. Literally, I started this vlog, felt okay, did a soup thinking I'm going to do loads of soups this week. And by loads, I mean 2. So I did a potato and parsnip soup, which I actually did enjoy. And then the idea was I would do the red pepper soup that's in here a little bit later this week. And I thought that would be really nice. Except then literally after that day, that's when I got ill. And now I've had so many hot drinks and things. Like I don't want soup. I don't want it anymore. I want like substantial food. Like now that I'm feeling better, now that I can actually have an appetite back, I'm wanting substantial food. I mean, don't get me wrong, soup can be, but like it's also, I don't want to touch it for a little while. I don't think I'm going to be in the mood to make that red pepper soup, which is a bit annoying because I would have loved to have done that and tried that, but I think I will come back to that at some point, maybe do a video at some point, just because there's also, I think, recipes and garden spells and stuff, and just see if I can make like a meal out of it. Maybe do that for like a relax and readathon videos or something, I don't know. But yeah, so I don't think that soup's gonna happen just because I've had enough of soup. This is like the cozy vibes that I wanted. It's just a little bit jarring to me that it's Halloween, because in my mind it's not Halloween. In my mind it's still wintry, like December, January time, and then every so often we'll get oh yes, on the run up to Halloween. I'm like, wait, what? But I think it's good. I'm enjoying it a lot. And now my lighting went weird because the clouds went in, or not went in, went over the sun, whatever. But yes, Jonathan Strange to Mr. Norrell. I've read quite a good amount-ish. I'm now up to chapter 28, page 294, so I think I read like 150 pages, I want to say, 160. But what I'm finding with this one is that I don't actually want to sit there and read it for too long, so I can sit there and read it for an hour and be absolutely fine, but then I want to break from it, and I think that is just because in itself it is a dense, dry book. We know this, but we know I still love it. This book really does feel like a fairy tale. And I'm at the point now where we're starting to get the longer footnotes that detail other stories. It is very much like you'll have a footnote that is a couple pages long, that is a fairy tale, that is linked back to what they were talking about. You're now just getting the actual full fairy tale. That I read, let me get it, The Wood at Midwinter for my Relax and Readathon. Now that I'm getting to the longer footnotes in this, it does feel like this tale could be a footnote within Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and it wouldn't be out of place. I feel like that would work really well. I think on its own, I had my mixed feelings about it, but I think as a footnote inside this book, it would work really, really well. And just this book in general, the way it's written does feel like a fairy tale. You'll have repetitions where the same phrase is used 3 or 4 times in the same paragraph. You'll have these different scenarios that are going on. It just all feels like your older English folklore fairy tales, and that is what's being written in here. We are at the point where we now have Jonathan Strange on the scene, which I'm really pleased with. I'm really glad we're up to that bit where we're seeing those interactions, those first interactions between Mr. Norrell and Jonathan Strange. How Mr. Norrell was very much like but you're not doing magic at all the way it should be done, because Jonathan Strange has not learned from books. He's just kind of gone with it and just started being able to create magic, which Mr. Norrell's like, but that's not possible. And Jonathan Strange goes, well, how can I read from books when you own all the books, like every book I've tried to get on Magic, I get told that you have already bought it up. So how can I learn from book? Eventually, they get to this truce and Mr. Norrell goes, okay, sure, I'll be your mentor. And then gives him all of his books for him to try and learn from. And we're just seeing how these two men work in such different ways. Alongside the story of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, though, you are seeing other people that have been affected by their magic and how that's actually working out. So in the start of this book, I was saying about how Mr. Norrell has to do this feat of magic to prove to the English governors that magic can help in the war against the French. And to do this, he helps this particular lady who one of the governors was going to be marrying and stuff. But now we're seeing the consequences of that from her perspective and also one of their servants' perspective, and how it's really not good. And we also see the hypocrisy that Mr. Norrell has about you can't include working with fairies in your magic. That's not right. And yet that's exactly what he's done. You're seeing that consequence. You're also seeing that blurring of the lines between fairy and humans and how they don't perceive things the way we perceive things. And it's really interesting. So you'll get that perspective. Stephen is the servant we're following, and we see him dealing with the fact that he is a servant during the day and he loves his position, like he's really happy with his position and everything, or at least that's what we're being told. Then at night he's having to go into fairy. He's just like, I want to be away from this, but the person that is in control of it all is so obsessed with Stephen. He's like, no, you are a king, you are a king, you know. He's so obsessed, he wants him there every night, he wants to do all these things, and so his life is just, he's slowly wasting away because he just can't keep up with all of this stuff that's going on, how it's impacting his life. Enjoy that. So we are getting a lot. There's a lot of different stories that are being told in this book. It's slow and dense, but I'm also really enjoying it, and I do get the itch. Like yesterday I really wanted to just sit down and read some of this, but I was so ill and like foggy that I just couldn't focus on anything, so I just didn't. That's why I went with First Frost instead, which worked really well because this one is a lot more of a simpler book for me to read, so I don't need to concentrate as heavily. But yeah, so I would like to read some more of this, but I am going to prioritize First Frost, so I'll work out how many pages I need to read today before I go on to Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell before work. I might even just take this one to work and try and read it on my lunch break, but work's been so busy lately I haven't been able to have a proper lunch break. We'll see. Hopefully I can read, even if it's just like 20 pages, that would be nice. Try and get through this a little bit because I am really liking it and I would really like to finish this out. I actually, on the day I was feeling well, calculate how many pages a day I would need to read to get this finished on the 31st of December, and it worked out as 39 pages a day, and I was like, oh okay, well that's kind of doable, maybe not on every single day, but it's not too bad. And then I promptly just didn't continue reading because I then got ill. So that's where we're at, hoping that I continue to feel better and I can get some more read. That's everything. So I think right now I need to update another video, and then I'm just gonna veg out, probably read the pages I need to read for this and just chill. Hopefully I won't leave it so long between updates. I think this video is going to be a little bit shorter as a result, but we'll see because I can also talk for England, so who knows. But I'm enjoying both books, which is the main thing. Good morning. No, good afternoon. I have made some good progress with First Frost. It's literally just the next day, and yesterday I did manage to read my 70 pages, and you saw me reading just a little bit with my lunch. I ended up doing a cranberry, brie, bacon and sausage wrap, mainly because I have bacon, sausages and wraps that all need using up, so decided to throw that together. It was quite good. I don't think the sausages went well. I much preferred it with just the bacon brie and cranberry. They needed using up and it's filling, which is good. Random tangent aside, but yeah, I'm liking this still. We've had Bay go to her first high school dance, which was really fun, and we just I'm kind of liking this. It feels like it's a coming of age story for Bae, and we're seeing her go through her first love, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned already, and how she's just not understanding certain things. Like her mum is really not happy with the boy that she loves. We know as readers why, because we've read that first book, but Bae doesn't really understand it. It is good. I like the progress in that. We have this Mr. Zeller, who is the shady character that is going to stir things up. He hasn't done loads yet, but I feel like we're going to be getting into that soon because he keeps just turning up at random point. The Waverleys notice him and then they'll turn around and then he'll be gone. So it's kind of a bit weird. We know that he's there to blackmail them, but we're not sure exactly what he's trying to do with that. So yeah, I'm just really liking it. It's just a really nice, easy, light read. I don't think I'm going to get my pages read today. I had a bit of a slow start because I woke up feeling not the best again. Thankfully nowhere near as bad, and I feel a lot better now that I've taken some tablets and stuff. So yeah, I needed a slow start for the morning. Also had to do some editing to get my 25 to read in 2025 done, which is coming out the Sunday before this video. So I'll have it linked below. Really excited with it actually. I'm really hopeful with that year-long TBR compared to all the others that I've done, because I've just done it in a smarter way and I'm focusing on certain series. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, and it actually works really well with Rainie's year-long challenge that she's doing, a bingo board, which I found out she was doing it after I filmed this video, and honestly I wasn't feeling great enough to do like a little clip to add into the video and stuff this morning. Like I've honestly only just got dressed. But it works really well because Rainie is doing a year-long challenge. It's a bingo board that focuses on series, which is definitely something I want to be doing next year. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. And then we've got loads of parcels here. I'm actually saving these for Christmas because I know a lot of these are actually gifts. One of them is my Secret Santa Instagram book club, so I know that's on there. And then I know a lot I think of these is from Denise. So thank you so much. Denise messaged me to say that she was spoiling me this year for Christmas. I'm not sure if I've got any from others and stuff, and you really don't have to, but I really want to open them on Christmas, and I was only expecting 1 or 2, and then this arrived this morning. So like there's a couple in here in my stocking, and I was like, oh, that'd be nice. I can do that in my reading vlog and actually open them on Christmas Day. That reading vlog, the Christmas Day one, won't come out till after New Year's just because of the way I always do my editing and stuff for it. There's so much here that I'm thinking I might do a separate just unboxing video, film it Christmas morning, potentially get it edited Boxing Day, and then have it go up at some point, which my phone is over there. I'm not sure when it would go up. It honestly just depends how long it takes me to edit, because I've still got to edit my TBR video as well. So the weekly reading vlog, this one is coming out on the 27th. The TBR video comes out on the 29th, and I would really like to do that unboxing and just, it would be so much fun. It would be my first proper unboxing video. You might get an extra unboxing video. It might just end up being part of the vlog. But yeah, I feel, oh my gosh, incredibly lucky, incredibly spoiled right now. It's great. And the thing is I'm actually pretty impressed because I am the most impatient person in the world. I never wait till Christmas. If someone gives me a gift early, I open it there and then. I think this is the first time since being an adult where my mum hasn't taken the presents for me already that I'm waiting. This is the first time. I honestly, it just takes me aback where I just look at all the people that interact with my videos and stuff, and I just think, I honestly don't know what I did to deserve such an amazing community, because I genuinely think that you're some of the best people. It is so lovely. We have such a good community here, and everyone is so nice to one another, and the community on Discord we're building, like, it is so good, and I'm just feeling so grateful. And I just, yeah, I don't know what I did to deserve it, but thank you all so much for being here and being a part of this community, and it just, it means so much, so thank you. All I actually meant to come on here to say was I've read a little bit more and I'm liking it. I don't think I'm gonna get my pages read today, but we'll see. I haven't been able to read any more of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, but it's fine. Like, I really want to get to it. I really want to focus it, but I'm also, where I'm ill, I'm not concentrating, and I know I really want to concentrate on that book. I really want to give it my all. This is such a nice, light slice of life story that I don't need to focus on it too much, so it's working really well for me feeling under the weather, which is so needed. Like, it's so good. So yeah, I think the next thing I'm gonna do is actually do a cup of tea, have a mince pie. Honestly, I go crazy for mince pies because they're only available in December time. So the minute mince pies hit the shelves, I go nuts for mince pies, and I make sure I have at least one a day, every day for the whole of December, because I love it so much. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna do a cup of tea, have a mince pie, read some more of this before I have to get ready for work, and then we'll go off to work and see what it brings, and then maybe finish this tomorrow. We'll see. Technically, the next thing I need to start editing is this vlog, but I haven't done much with this vlog, so I honestly think I could probably get away with just editing for half hour tomorrow and then give myself more reading time. This was just a random tangent, mainly just about going, thank you so freaking much for all of the Christmas presents. I'm very excited to open them, and I just hope that you're all having an amazing time. I mean, this is coming out after Christmas, so I just hope that you've all had a really good Christmas. I'm gonna do a hot drink and stop getting all set. I think because I'm ill as well, I'm extra sappy. But I appreciate everyone so much. And I think this is a really good point, because normally in December, I start reflecting back on my year and then start thinking about the new year going forward, which I know is something that pretty much most people do. This year in particular has been amazing for booktube, for opportunities I've been able to do and be a part of, and I do genuinely believe that none of that would have been possible without you. So thank you. Like, genuinely, I've had some amazing times this year. Like, I've been able to work with Anna Louisa. That would never have happened without all of your support, and I love Anna Louisa, so I was genuinely in shock when they first reached out to me. Thank you so much for that. I've been able to work with a couple of other companies on things, and I've got my affiliate link, my first ever affiliate link this year, and been able to be a part of Battle of the Booktuber, which has been amazing. I've made such good friends through things like that, and it is all because you all support me so much, and I really appreciate it. So, you know, regardless of whether you even comment, the fact that you take the time to watch these videos really means a lot. Okay, right, I'm done being sappy now. I'm gonna go do my tea. I have made some really good reading progress, which I'm actually quite shocked at. I didn't bother updating yesterday because I was not feeling too great, and this morning I haven't read anything yet. Instead, I've been busy tidying up. I find when I start feeling better after being ill, the first thing I want to do is just clean and tidy the space, and so that's what I did today, and I feel so much better for it. Yeah, genuinely, I'm shocked at how much reading I've got done, so let's just get into the reading news, shall we? So first up, I did finish First Frost, and I did really like this one. As I said before, I stand by in thinking that Garden Spells is slightly better than this one, but at the same time, I still really enjoyed this one. I thought the 10-year gap was actually perfect. I think any sooner and it wouldn't have made sense to have another book. We needed our characters to grow a little bit more, and it is like life. Like, you will go through highs and lows within life, and I think around the 10-year mark is a good point to check back in with our characters, see how everyone's doing, see the different things, the new challenges that they're tackling and dealing with, and I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was really good. It was really nice to follow the 3 different Waverley women and see the different things that they're dealing with, and while those plot points with Claire and Sydney were not as big as the first book, that made sense because this is Bay's story, and I really liked that. I think it was really good. This book does solidify that I want to get and read the rest of Sarah Addison Allen's works, because there is just something about this writing style that really works for me. Am I normally the sort of person to be like, oh, I would happily read a contemporary slice of life story? No, not really. But I think because it just has that little sprinkling of magic and just something about the writing style, it really, really works for me. I just really enjoyed this. So I'm really pleased that I read this. Again, I think the only thing that threw me for a loop with this book is the fact that it actually takes place around Halloween. But the Halloween emphasis is not too high, apart from the fact that we're having this Halloween school ball thing going on. But even then, it's not too much. There's a lot more emphasis on first frost, the first snow, so I think this does work if you're reading it any time between end of October to January. I think it works if you prefer reading it within the season it's set, which is something that I have learned that I definitely prefer. But yeah, I just thought this was wonderful. It was a really nice story. I liked all the different parts to it, and I liked the introduction of 2 other characters and just seeing how their story wrapped up. I really enjoyed this. This was really, really good. I can't wait to read more by Sarah Addison Allen. I just think that the writing style is really, really good, and I'm really pleased to have actually read this series this year. I just think it's great. It's so good. I'm so happy with it. That was amazing. So I finished that one. I actually finished it yesterday because as much as I wasn't feeling great, First Frost was still really good to read because it hasn't taken too much concentration, and it does just make me feel happy and comforted. So this worked really, really well for that. And then I have read quite a decent chunk, I'm pretty surprised, of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I'm actually up to chapter 33, page 386. The spine is broken. We knew that was going to happen because this is such a chunky book, and honestly, kind of happy with it. I like a nice lived in copy of I don't know, there's something about having a big chunky book that's lived in that I just love it. I'm now at that point where I am fully invested in this book. So I did say earlier in the updates that I wasn't wanting to read loads of this book in one go, that I was quite happy to read just for an hour, maybe get 40 pages read and leave it at that. But I'm now at the point that I'm really, really enjoying, because the last 90 to 100 pages we've been focused on Jonathan Strange, and that's what I love. So I will admit the first bit of this book is a bit of a slog to get through. So I'd say about the first 200 to 250 pages can be a little bit tedious because you're following mainly Mr. Norrell, and Mr. Norrell is, well, I've said many times, he is a dry character, and because that is who you're following, it's a little bit more dense and tedious to get through. Then we meet Jonathan Strange. Things start taking a turn for being just a little bit more upbeat in terms of the writing. I wouldn't say it's any more faster, but there's definitely more going on that's more interesting. So for example, for the last bit that we've been reading is Jonathan Strange has been on the front line in the war against France. So he has been sent to Portugal to help use his magic to actually help in this war. And so that is what he does. And so you get to see the different magic that he's doing. And I really like that because it's just a little bit more oh, you can see it's not just theory based. You're seeing all the different things that are going on. And it's so interesting. I really, really like it. Now we're seeing Jonathan Strange interacting with the King of England as well. I remember reading this part when I first read this book, and it was at this point that I was suddenly starting to fall in love with the book. Before it, I liked it because the writing style was still really good. I do love this writing style, but I was finding it a little bit dense and a little bit of struggle to get through. Once we hit this point, for me, it's just so good. There's so much going on. I really enjoy it. I do like the fact that in the first bit we have Mr. Norrell first, then we progress into Stephen's storyline with the man with thistledown hair and all of basically the fairy side of it, and then we progress into Jonathan Strange's story, and I do like the way it's done. But yeah, I'm just at this point where I can just read and just carry on reading. There is no point, no part of me that wants to put this down. So yeah, I'm having such a good time. It is time to wrap up this video. We are, how many pages are we? I think I was talking about this yesterday and someone asked me, oh, how many pages have you got left? And I was at work and I was like, oh, I think I've got 500 pages left. No. At that point I had 600 pages left. I now have 500 pages left. Will I get this done before the end of the year? Who knows? It is time to wrap up this video, and I'm sorry it's a little bit shorter than normal. It's just not been the best week. I mean, I'm glad I'm feeling better just before Christmas. I know for you this is coming out after Christmas, but for me it is like the 21st right now, so just before Christmas I'm starting to feel better, which is great. But yeah, kind of sucks, but is what it is. Regardless, I've had a really good reading week, so I'm pleased with what I've read this week. Been really good, and I'm so pleased First Frost kept up to my expectations that I had for this book. Really happy with this one. I think it's just been really good. Like, I don't know what my favorite book of the month would be. I mean, the reread is up there, obviously, because it's a reread, but if we don't include the reread, then it probably would be First Frost, because this did exactly what I wanted it to. So I'm really pleased. Oh, I'm so pleased with this. This was really good. But yeah, I hope you all had an amazing Christmas. I know I've already said that, but just again, I hope you did. Do let me know, what did you get for Christmas? If you want to share, you don't have to, but like, did you get any bookish things? What were you up to on Christmas? Did you decide to have a nice quiet one like I'm planning on doing, or did you have a big one with family and friends and stuff, or do you just not really celebrate Christmas and decided, you know what, I'm gonna work it, or whatever? Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that my station's closed on Christmas Day, I'd probably work it, because I'm not a massive Christmas person, but it is nice to have a day to relax, which is why I always end up having a quiet one. But right, anyway, that is enough from me, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every single one of you that take the time to watch these videos. You know, I know some of you have been around for ages, and I see you in the comments, and it is so lovely. So yeah, so thank you, and thank you to everyone that's new. We've done really well this year, so yeah, I'm really happy with it all. Right, I am gonna stop waffling on. I actually do want to start next week's reading vlog. So if you've made it this far but you just don't know what to comment, then let's leave an apple or a snowflake emoji for First Frost, because this was so good. And thank you once again for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, then please do consider giving it that thumbs up, subscribing and commenting. Those three things really help this channel out. My social media links, everyone that I've mentioned, will be linked below for you, and I will of course catch you in the very next video.